What the heck is that?
Some things you're better off not knowing. Take it from me.
Boom, 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 boom. Every FNFF podcast, and you're listening to it. And this is Curtis.
And I'm Carl.
And I'm Alex.
And we have a very special guest.
We have an engineer.
Oh, wow. An engineer.
Alex, you're out of here.
He needs no introduction because he was part of two of the most legendary bands of all time. And of course, I'm talking about Caroline Reese and the Drifting Fifth, as well as Howlish,
Who
which
could forget?
had the best bandmates of all time and
yes,
the
of
best band ever.
So if my voice sounds incredible, it's definitely me.
This is a totally unbiased opinion from me. I was just a huge fan of both of those bands. I absolutely was not the bassist in both of them. With us today is Mark Water.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Do you want me to use your full name or should I just say Mark? Probably should have cleared that earlier.
Oh, that's
They
fine.
can reverse band search.
True, I already doxed you completely.
Yeah, right. Well, I was gonna say, I think I texted this to you maybe 4 months ago or something. But this is like the one podcast that I really do want to have my full name on. I was gonna say,
Hell yeah.
I think because y'all are always supporting the right thing. This podcast is on the right side of history.
FF10 sucks. Yeah,
We're gonna fight about that.
Mark is here to defend Final Fantasy X.
But, right.
But just the original version, not the international version.
Yeah,
not to
no.
defend that one. Yeah.
But after replaying it, who knows? But yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Of
problem.
course. Thank you so much for coming on.
I was gonna say, well, learn a little bit about you, but I guess Carl already did that. So.
Yeah, I kind of.
That's all I've done. Yeah.
No, tell us your history with the Final Fantasy series.
Well, I think I've played through the beginning of Final Fantasy VII more times than I'd like to admit because I didn't have a memory card at first. I got the
played
PS.
FF7 for 60 hours, just not beaten it.
Just the Mako reactor.
Yeah.
Just trying to get that level 99. No, I had the PS2. I was so excited. I did not have the PS1 memory card.
Oh,
So I
no.
played through, but I think 7 was the first one I finished myself, and then I think 10 was the second one. But I used to a lot in my childhood. I would watch my friends play video games.
Yeah.
So I think before I played each one, I would just have my friends talk to me about it. I used to walk to the Wynwood Shopping Center.
Yo, hell yeah.
Or to Wawa, just talking about all the weird Final Fantasy X lore that I had not played. So I kind of knew a lot of it going in. But yeah. So just trips to GameStop to look at the covers and then eventually playing them.
That's like the acoustic version of Twitch. It's like watching your friends play.
Before Twitch, we talked about the game.
I mean, that's exactly how I kind of explain it to older folks who are like, why do you want to watch someone play video games? Like, I did it before the internet.
Right.
It's the same thing. That's why I listen to podcasts. I can pretend I have friends again.
Yeah, friendship simulators.
That's why I put on The Simpsons to believe that I'm friends with The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bill Oakley and Conan O'Brien. Anyway, what?
But yeah, and I think it's interesting because this definitely was my favorite playing wise.
Hell yeah.
But revisiting it, it's really interesting. I mean, so much has changed since this game came out.
Yeah.
And it's I was always and you've talked about this a little on the podcast, but it was there are moments in this game that's you really hope your parents don't walk in when you're playing.
Yeah.
And you're in, middle high school, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Where
you're-
it's
and you're I'm just trying to fight the monster. I didn't need that, the butt shot. Or
yeah.
I didn't need
we'll get to a good one today.
I didn't need a fantastic one right at the start.
Yeah, Lulu's victory pose.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's great to be here. I can't wait to
Hell yeah.
get into this boat trip.
We'll see how you
Let's get
feel
into
after half an hour in here.
Yeah, it's very spicy.
Oh, this
in
is
here.
just like my room where I work. So this is fine.
Yeah, so we are off to sea.
We are. We're going to... Wait, we haven't learned where we're going to yet, have we?
Well, we're going on tour, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I actually don't remember where we're going.
Well, I think
And the end goal is Luca, right?
Yeah, the end goal
Yeah,
is the
correct.
Blitzball tournament.
We're on the road
Luca.
to Viridian City. No.
Actually, so last time we stopped with like the appearance of a little map that was showing us like Indiana Jones style
Yeah,
where
this is
we're
the
going.
first time, right? This
Yeah.
is the first
Yeah,
little map.
yeah.
Yep. And it does end like it says you start at Besaid, and the destination this time is Kilika Port.
Right.
So we do learn.
Kilika?
How do you say it?
I don't know.
I say.
No, I'm just asking
said
'cause I don't know.
Kilika, yeah.
Okay. I was like, here we go.
Kill Itha.
But yeah. But we start out the boat trip with Titus being a fucking legendary piece of shit.
Just real goofy.
He is literally just monkeying around.
Yeah, I know. Like we're as soon as the map fades away, we're looking through the eyes of like a binocular. Binoculars, I suppose. They're always
Binoculi.
plural.
Binoculi, yeah.
And we like we see
Binoculum.
through them, and like
Some nocular.
some noculars. And like
Unocular.
Titus's head appears like upside down in front of them, and like the binoculars are like thrashing about, and like the camera like then cuts to show us what the fuck is going on, and like Titus is standing on this poor dude's
Yeah.
shoulders, like trying to grab the binoculars away from him.
So you say standing on his shoulders. He is literally like holding his shoulders with his hands and just like upside down like an acrobat. And then he like does a weird like flip and shit and like lands on the like railing of the ship.
Yeah.
And
Kinda
then
like a Spider-Man.
we get another like perspective shot of the binoculars.
yeah,
And it's
it's
Titus
like
just
Titus running at you.
he does like a really weird goofy crawl and it's playing like
It feels
nice
very
music.
like. It feels like it's from Cats because he does like a very kind of graceful flip, lands, and then kind of like does a little like
It
kind
is
of
like Cats.
creeping, like squatting on the like with his little kind of jazz hands out, like here I come at you.
It's incredibly like ridiculous and it's playing like a nice song and you know it's like kind of a feel good moment in the game, but I was like, you literally just recut this with like any horror movie score or like anything from like Silent Hill, and this is just like horrifying.
know.
Like it's so weird, it's like uncanny.
And like again, Titus doesn't know this man. He doesn't. Like, he doesn't know anybody in this world.
Yeah, you'd think after just kind of like learning that there were rules in this world in a temple and things, he maybe like wouldn't leap on some. I don't know. Maybe that's what he did. You know, in Xanarkand, maybe.
Yeah,
like, he's like,
probably.
I'm back on my
Probably, yeah.
houseboat.
Yeah,
This
like-
is just someone nocularing on my houseboat.
Yeah, this isn't even one of the Aurochs. Like if it was like one of the team
Yeah,
members,
this-
like it'd be like, oh, he's just biting around with the team members. But this is just some guy in some cutoff shorts.
This is big. He's like Francis from Pee-wee's Big Adventure, where he just thinks Pee-wee's bike is his and everything belongs to him.
Yeah.
So he steals this dude's binoculars and then just starts kind of like looking around the ship. And I think at first he like looks at Waka,
Waka, yeah.
and then he
just like
goes,
mad, boring Wonka.
Boring old Waka.
yeah, and then he's like zooms over and sees like you see a bunch of belts. So it's like, oh, okay, it's Lulu.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a bit of a
you
gratuitous
you
shot.
just see a pile of belts.
But yeah, like it's a gratuitous shot of just him like hovering on like her chest for way
yeah,
too
just
long.
like multiple seconds.
The
enough
scan
to be like,
stops. Yeah.
Yeah.
When she glances at him, yeah.
And then she glances at him, and he's like, and then like looks away.
Yeah, and then he looks over at Yuna, and she like waves to him.
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah.
goofy. Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Anyway,
Yeah, and then I think that's pretty much it for that like little weird cutscene because
And
then
then
he just like jumps down and then
And he throws the binoculars at the dude,
Back
and
to
like,
the person. Yeah.
God.
what a fucking shit. I hate Titus so much. I know that.
just
Uh,
just monkey business.
Yeah.
monkey,
fair.
monkey biz.
But then we get control of Titus, and we can immediately talk to this guy again.
yeah. Does he already go back to the back of the ship?
Yeah, I think that's where you start.
Yeah, so
Right?
yeah, you can talk to him, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to use the binoculars?"
Yeah.
And if you say yes, he's like, "Yeah, I don't think so. You remember what you just did?" Get him.
The one guy who like has any sorts of reason in this.
It turns out that this guy is like the number 2. He's the penultimate boss. He's gonna come back right before Sin.
Yeah.
Oh, there's dolphins in the background. I just noticed.
Yeah. They're jumping around.
Oh, they're gonna come back.
Oh
this
yeah.
episode.
In this episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna get us up to Junon.
Right, yeah. Remember, yeah. Put a pin in the dolphin. That's really important for later. It's gonna be a huge plot point.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, exactly.
Chekhov's got a dolphin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like again, the dolphins and I guess I've noticed a lot of the animals in this world are just slightly different.
Yeah.
Like we saw, like the fox has some weird ears. The dolphins in this world have like a little more ornate looking fins. Like dolphins, except for their fins, have like.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, they got a little funky.
A little slicier.
little slice here. They look
Yeah.
a little more piranha-y.
Battle ready.
Battle ready.
Battle ready.
Tactical dolphins.
Yeah, and it was kind of like the dog,
Atrium.
the dog, the dog that we were talking about that looks like more like a mythical,
Pokemon?
more like a Pokemon or like a mythical creature. Like it's not quite as far as like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where every animal is just two animals put together.
Yeah.
Are all animals fiends or
Ooh,
Or are they friends?
are they friends?
I think they're all friends.
Okay.
Personally,
I think there are animals. There are edibles.
there are definitely
There's
animal
some-
fiends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A fiend is just a friend you haven't made yet.
I can say from my knowledge of Final Fantasy X2, there's at least monkeys. So,
I haven't played that one. I'm gonna get into that.
monkeys in Final Fantasy are not fiends, but monkeys in the real world are.
Like I said, the right side of history.
So we're on a boat.
Yeah, so we talked to I talked to Waka first, and he just kind of explains that we're going to be going to Kilika just to change boats, right? Which makes sense. Like Besaid is
We want to arrive in Luca in style.
yeah.
And we're on this
Well,
weird steamer boat. That
We do hear multiple times. I don't know if we've heard it yet, but we will hear that Besaid is kind of like a backwater island. Like it's small. It only has the one village on it with a temple on it, so it's not like a big thing. And like if you ever like take planes to somewhere that's like out of the way, you fly a large plane between big cities and then
Right.
like the small tiny jumper in between
Yeah.
small towns. So that makes sense. We're gonna go to Kilika Port and we're gonna get on like a real boat,
Yeah.
a Boeing.
Boo.
a boo, and head to Kilika from there. He also says that it's fortunate because on Kilika is actually a temple, and Yuna's going to go pray there, and Waka's going to be guarding this time instead of sitting out and then begrudgingly going in
going
there.
in.
Instead of playing blitzball on the beach with his homies.
Yeah, right.
Poorly playing blitzball. Yeah, and I think doesn't
Lulu chimes
Lulu
in and
interrupts
says,
him.
Great plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
incredulously.
Yeah, and then Waka gets defensive. He's like, "Hey, it is a great plan."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and he looks back at Titus for confirmation, and Titus is just like, "Hey, don't look at me."
Yeah, he's like, "I don't want to fuck with her.
Yeah, I know.
She's scary."
That's why Lulu's the best character in the game.
Hell yeah.
And if you go talk to Lulu, I love her dialogue.
Yeah.
It's
You
really
just
good.
talk to her, and she just looks at you and goes,
I don't know who you are or where you came from. If you interfere with Yuna's pilgrimage, we won't take it lightly.
Hell yeah. She's so fucking scary. It's
"I know,
awesome.
I know."
Who you are,
And
where you're from.
there's
As long as you love me.
there's like a big crowd around Yuna, so you can't really talk to her just yet. But
Yeah.
you can go up to
All her fans. She's signing blitzballs too.
There are a couple flying.
yeah, you
around.
get to change your name.
West Block, back row.
But you can go up to Kamari and try to talk to him, and he just kind of like shakes his head, and then like he does a couple different animations where he'll like cross his arms and stuff. It's pretty good.
Kaze Kamari, like personality-wise, is already up on my list. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying Kamari.
Yeah, yeah. you can't tell yet, and I couldn't tell in the game, but I think Kamari and Waka's voice actor are the same person.
Oh, is that true?
Interesting.
They'll have to fact check me on that. but I-
Editor's note. Mark is right. John DiMaggio is both Waka and Kamari Ronso.
But after that, I went down into the ship itself. Right? Is that what y'all did?
Yeah.
yeah.
There's not really too much you can do. Like you can kind of explore a little bit, but there's only so many rooms you can go to here.
Right.
yeah, I went to the captain's
Oh yeah.
thing, which I actually had never done. I did not know that was a room on the boat.
Oh, yeah,
They
the
don't really
captain's-
say
Is there a primer in there?
no, or I didn't get it.
No, not there. I don't
gotta-
think there is
yeah.
one on this ship. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
Okay.
there's one on the ship.
The next boat must.
It's
have
in the
one
power
with
room.
captain. Okay. Cool.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, it is in the power.
But I
room.
actually didn't go into the captain's room. What does he say?
The womb.
He says we'll arrive in Kilika before nightfall. Go on, take a nap or something.
Everyone's trying to get Titus to go to sleep. Yeah.
yeah.
We'll eat later. Go to sleep.
He's like a
Swear,
3-year-old.
lunch is coming. Just go to sleep.
And then if
The entirety of the game is just Titus trying to get lunch.
Everyone's giving him a hint, like, dude, you're dreaming.
and then he says the SS Leaky is funded by Yevon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the name of the boat that we're on right now.
Yeah.
Too. The SS Leaky. Yeah.
That's kind of
So
It was a bad name. It's a bad name for a
I didn't
boat.
even think about that.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird to be like, yeah, God funds this boat. It's like that's raising more questions than it's answering, actually. But
This is giving me some real like 600 years ago European Catholic vibes right now.
yeah. Uh-oh.
Oh,
But-
for a spoiler warning for the listener, it didn't end well for Europe.
The helmsman, I guess, like the one who's like
Yeah.
steering and everything, is the guy who looks like Wedge. And you talk to him,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he says, "Oh, what a great day! The breeze must feel wonderful." And then he says, "Want to man the helm?" Yeah, right. Just kidding. But I like that he's like looking out at this beautiful day, and he's like, "Damn, I bet that breeze feels really nice out there." I'm cooped up inside.
Like they've got the glass on the window. They can't feel it.
That's a big mood right now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But one of my equal parts least and most favorite characters are downstairs in this boat.
The chocobos.
That's right.
Oh, right. You go below. So there's the stairs that goes downstairs.
Yeah, and then it
I mean,
starts
that's
like a
where
little
one
like,
of the two places stairs can go.
Yeah.
it starts like a little cutscene here with like an NPC that walks up to you.
Yeah.
Oh, them's fascinating clothes you're wearing. Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah. Filthy. These won't sell or me name's not Owaka.
So here's the thing, right?
He's got like a Liverpool or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like Cockney.
all them's fascinating clothes you're wearing.
yeah.
Well, like a little more.
What are you buying?
Less gravelly. He's a,
Yeah, it
little-
was gravelly.
A little more.
a more refined Cockney.
Refined. Yeah.
This is the Resident Evil 4 salesman before like something terrible happened to him. Like,
Sin attacked him, and then he went to whatever European country
nondescript European country.
Spain?
that
they're in
Leon
I think
Kennedy
so,
wreaks
yeah.
havoc on.
But yeah, I was like, first of all, fuck this guy. How
has a-
dare he? He doesn't know me.
Yeah.
But also fashionista, I like it.
The type of voice he has implies that we'll be seeing him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He,
Like they put way too much work into this NPC that this is a
they've
throwaway
given him a
character.
voice actor.
Yeah,
first of all.
There's like the ranking of like importance in like video games. So like on PS1 games, I used to joke with my friends that like if they have a face, like a face pops up for them, they're pretty important. If they have a face and a name tag, or like no, if they have a name tag, they're pretty important. If they have a face and a name tag, they're really important. If they're voice acted, that's a main character right there. And this guy's like, he has the low poly of an NPC where he's not like super detailed, but he has like an interesting voice that's like a one-off voice.
And
So
a
he's like,
silly hat.
you got a silly hat?
He's got like an
Important.
Aladdin hat.
You mean Aladdin hat? You mean like a fez?
Yeah, I guess Aladdin probably wears a fez, right?
No, wait, the monkey wears a fez. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Or wait,
maybe-
do they both wear
so
fezes? I forget.
Imagine, if you will, Aladdin takes Apu's hat and puts it on his own head, and you got yourself a Waka.
What does Aladdin have on? Hat wise.
He has like a fez.
Do they both
Does he have
fezzes?
a fez?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's,
So
it's
we're
like
not-
A
yeah,
he has a
yarmulke.
We're not at Agrabah yet. We're gonna get there when we get to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I
but,
guess he does have like a smaller.
I think he
fez.
does have like a yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the little tassel on it though. It's not as good as the Tingle hat.
No, the tail
No,
hat is pretty.
very
top
little
notch.
is.
Has anyone played Blasphemous?
No, I have
Oh,
not.
I want to.
It's really good, but it's like everyone's got a tingle hat. Is sort of the
yeah.
is the premise.
The giant,
I can only
super tall tingle hat.
I can only imagine that was the like elevator pitch.
That is also praxis. Everyone should have a tingle hat.
But got emphasis on religion, like
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy X.
Oh.
Oh,
Bring it back.
probably the same universe. No.
yeah, probably it takes place in Sphera.
Yeah.
Anyway, after he like fucking demeans us for our clothing choice.
Yeah, then he
he's-
says something real fucked up.
Yeah, you don't look like you have much money on you either. like
fuck off, dude.
Like insultingly, like fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, he says, I've got no business with ye on my way, or on me way, out of me way. I don't know. This guy, it's kind of hard to... He's voice acted, so I didn't read the subtitles while playing. And I was just like, oh, this guy sounds like an asshole. Now I'm trying to read them in like the accent that he has, and I like am struggling with it.
Oh yeah. So Titus asked,
Who do you think you are?
Awaka the 23rd, merchant extraordinaire.
and Awaka the who?
Yeah.
Don't know me? Well, not many do.
I love that.
That's
I
a really good
because
line.
he's like real about himself. He's like, oh, your clothes look like crap. You look like you don't have much money. And he's like, me? I'm a walk of the 23rd. a nobody, but I used
There's
to
a million
fuck you.
things he hasn't done, but just you wait.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when I named me and Mark's old bands at the beginning of the show. It was like the best bands ever. Awaka, the
Best band you
23rd.
haven't heard of yet.
Right.
But someday the name of Walker will be spoken all over Spira. Say, lad, you wouldn't have a bit of gill to lend.
But yeah, he insults us, fucking makes fun of us for being poor or looking poor. Because again, like I think Titus is probably used to being incredibly wealthy.
Yeah.
And then like is like, I don't have any money. Can you loan me some?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I literally
fucking
gave
piece
him
of
all my
shit.
money because I have a hack save.
So did I. I
like
gave
a-
him all of my money because the only things I've had to buy are just like potions. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
eh.
Everyone I've talked to just gives me potions.
Yeah.
Or
So I was just like,
400
oh,
gil.
fuck it.
Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people have been like, hey, you need to protect Yuna. Here's 400 gil.
Oh yeah, and you also I forgot you can get a seeker. You get the seeker's ring as you're getting
Yeah.
onto the boat if you talk.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome ring.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did we talk about what that does? Because I don't think.
I don't think we did. Is that scan?
It's a I think it's plus 10% HP.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
okay.
So
Sick.
it's a pretty Yuna, the tank class character of the game, really just getting off to a good start.
Hell yeah.
And I guess like now would be a good time to mention that like much like many other Final Fantasies, each character has their own weapon type. So you know like Cloud could use the sword and Sid would use the spear, and same thing for 10. But in this game, everybody has their own armor or accessory type as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you're not just like finding a piece of armor and being able to equip it to anybody. So like certain people have like shields, like Titus has like small buckler type shields.
Yeah.
And then like the unit has rings and stuff like that. And so that goes for all the items in this game. All the accessories, all the weapons are that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have specific stats really. It's
Right.
not like you just equip them and your defense goes up.
Yeah.
There's sort of like ability slots
Yes.
in them.
Yeah.
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 Which is different.
Well, man, when we get, I guess like halfway through or whatever, and we learn like really how accessories like really start breaking apart or whatever, it becomes really interesting. A little frustrating to me sometimes, but very interesting. But yeah, so Awaka asks us for money, but in this same room, in hold, is this a hold of a ship? We
Sure.
had this same fucking discussion
Sure.
during FF7.
It's a new rule for the podcast. We just call things what we think they're probably called and like
It's
act like
fantasy,
we know what we're
goddammit.
talking
Once we're
about.
in the downstairs boat atrium.
the boatsman, the basement, but for
Yeah, I was
boats.
gonna say
The
boat basement.
I think this is the brig.
This isn't the poop deck.
Yeah. this ain't
Yevon
your
brig.
mama's poop deck. But once we're down there, Luzu and Gata are also down there, and they're like guarding a door, right?
Yeah.
It's like where like the master bedroom or master chamber, like
Yeah.
whatever the captain's chambers would be, I would
Yeah.
think. But
And Gata is just like, oh yeah, you can't go in there. He's like real Shinra guard from FF7 energy, where he's like, you're not allowed past here.
Yeah.
And Luzu then says, some things you're better off not knowing. Trust me. And I was like, you can't just throw that at me, Luzu. That's fucked up. You can't let me know that there's something amazing back there.
I think another thing that he says as well, one of
yeah.
them is like, hey, look, like we're excommunicated for a reason. Like if you like start associating with us, you're going to get excommunicated.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he
So
says
like you
that,
better
yeah.
not, like it's better off not knowing.
Right.
You can't get in trouble if you don't know the law.
I'm a rebel, Dottie.
Yeah. And then there's let's see, there's a little
And Gata says, restricted area. Our operation depends on this cargo.
yeah.
Why don't you go topside? The fresh sea air might help restore your memory.
Upstairs.
I'm trying to do his best impression.
I
as can.
love that though, because he's like just trying to get you away, and he's like, maybe this will fucking convince him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know what? I heard
I love
the
it.
fresh sea air will get rid of Sin's toxins or whatever.
Easy.
I love
You know that
everybody
thing that you want-
upstairs is like, go take a nap, go downstairs, please just leave us alone. And we go downstairs and everybody's like, go upstairs,
Go
please.
talk to your dad.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched The Angry Beavers?
I do
Yeah,
like the Angry Beavers.
not a long time.
There was the episode with the little chameleon character named Bing, who they met, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's great. He's awesome." And they hung out with him for like 2 days, but then he like wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
And they got so sick of him, so they were like, "Oh, we can't be mean to him. We have to like get rid of him some other way." So they had a party where they invited all their friends to try and like push him off onto other friends groups. And then like they get there and they all see him, and all of their friends are like, "Oh my god, it's Bing!" And they all leave. And then like Bing's real sad. He's like, Yeah, this isn't my first pass the Bing party. Like, I understand you guys don't have to be friends. So that's what's happening with Titus here.
I only know Angry Beavers because of the Invader Zim voice actor.
Yo, hell yeah.
Oh, Richard Horvitz.
Yeah.
He also did video game voice acting, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he's from Psychonauts.
Psychonauts, yeah.
And he's also Billy and Billy and Mandy.
Which I think they just announced Psychonauts too.
They announced it a while ago, but they've been
There was like a trailer for it
an
today.
actual like release date probably.
Oh, no. Now, is Titus Dib or Zim?
Is it Dib or Zim?
I don't.
I don't know the lore of Invader Zim as well as I should. I would say maybe
Lulu is a Gaz.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gaz for sure.
I think those are the only 3 actual characters on.
There's
Waka has big like Professor
membrane vibes.
Membrane vibes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh my God, their hair. Yeah.
Well, maybe I think Titus is more like Iggins or something.
Yeah.
Remember Iggins? Yeah, the person who takes the game slave too.
Oh, I was thinking of their the friend that.
The squirrel, the squirrel friend that they put the friend in the squirrel.
Yeah, I forget what they rip his eyeballs out.
And put in the squirrel. That's all.
It was
I
their
did,
best friend. They were trying to offload a best friend thing.
Yeah, it's all connected. The Bing of Invader Zim.
It's a typical trope. Yeah.
Yeah.
The friend. I mean.
No one wants to hang out with Titus. Titus has no chill.
And then
there's the
sick of his
episode
shit.
of Adventure Time where the ice crashes, and then they're at their place, and then there's the episode of Sonic Boom where Eggman crashes at their place.
God.
It's the same fucking episode.
Well, and Gaz Lulu, Gaz kills Iggins in the elevator. Lulu's just thinking about that. The whole time.
I love all his. This is such a tangent, but I love everything about Invader Zim because every ending like bookend they have to put in is just to like kind of make it PG.
Okay.
So it's like, no, it's fine. They're alive. So he bursts out like a rocket, like, or when the best friend falls off like the roof, and then he has to scream waffles, even though there's like smoke billowing out from like explodes.
I think the baloney episode is the only one where they actually die, or like they are baloney forever, and that's the end.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Baloney. Baloney DNA. Oh, God.
Intruder is baloney. Which, much like the SS Leaky.
So much like on the SS Leaky, where Titus becomes baloney.
You don't want to go in that room. It's just full of all the baloney.
We're not at liberty to say.
We're not at liberty.
That's the
Cargo
There's
is
some things you
baloney.
don't want to know.
That's the ray gun that turns people into baloney. They're planning on using it on Sin.
Sin is already mostly baloney anyway.
It is very blasphemous technology.
Okay. One more tangent.
Let's
do
go.
it. What does Sin taste like?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. It's a big undulating mass. Like think of like
Satan.
Which
works on a couple levels.
So he that does work on a couple levels. I was gonna say like the thing is like
It's
he's
a
very
funnel
like
cake.
well he's very like undulaty and like gross or whatever and like liquidy. So it's like well he probably has like a lot of water content and I'm like
Yeah.
so maybe like a tofu or something.
Yeah, I was
like,
thinking
would
like
actually.
like
What
a
if-
bibimbap or something like that, or like a pho.
Oh
Yeah,
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 nice. A little Sin pho.
Sin
I
pho.
would.
The
I would
big
eat that.
glob of ingredients that you put into the broth, which
Yeah.
is the
It's like
ocean
the,
of
it's like
It's
spirit.
just all
the
bouillon.
puffer fish. You have to like be very
Oh, the
precise.
fugu, yeah, the fugu.
or else you cut and you get the toxin in there. You
Yeah.
don't want to get the sin toxin in your pho.
You should
Well,
just
the sin
let.
scales are just you can
Yeah.
just cut them up.
You should let the head chef just finish having sex with Edna Krabappel in the back of his car,
Yeah,
and
right.
let him cut the fugu so you don't accidentally
Exactly,
poison Homer Simpson.
Of course.
That was the best tangent yet.
I wonder if Sin would taste better if you like dehydrate him and turn him into like jerky.
Ooh, a
Sin
sin
jerky.
jerky.
Sin jerky. Yeah. So there is another room down here that we can go in, where there's like two. There's like a chest. As soon as you walk in, it has a remedy in it. Nothing
Yeah.
really that.
How about that suitcase in the corner?
I do want to talk about
Let's
that
talk about
suitcase. But there is like you can see two NPCs in here, and you talk to them, and it's like the Blitzball team members, and it's Bada, and he says, "Ugh, I've gotten seasick. I think I'm gonna hurl." Big Yuffie energy.
Yeah.
And
Or
then
that guy in Wall Market.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
thrown up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Whoops. Who you can bring like medicine to later, right?
Yeah, and that's part of the dress quest, I think. But there's also like a little thing of luggage in the middle of the room, like that you walk past before going to the next NPC.
Oh, there's a chest there at first, but there's a remedy in there.
Yeah. And then after this is this briefcase, and you can just go up to it and like interact with it, and Titus just kicks it, and you get a potion.
it'll.
And then you can
Yeah.
hit A on it again, and Titus kicks it again and gets another potion. And you can just do this like 5 times, I think, to get some potions.
I was reading about that. It brings you up to a certain number of potions.
If you have
that's so
until
good.
you have 20 in your inventory.
Holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up.
Well, I don't know, but I feel like
My
it's
insulin.
Yeah, my insulin.
Especially because Bada is like over here like, oh man, I'm so
Throwing
sick.
out.
You know what might help, dude? Having some of this potion. But instead I'm just going to steal all your potion.
The remedy. You took it.
Oh,
out.
yeah, you took the fucking remedy. You
Bada's
take
got the poison. I've got the remedy.
And then there's another guy in the back who's just hiding just behind a curtain, like, I don't want to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it's Keepa, who I think is the goalie, right?
Yeah.
Goalie.
Very
Yeah.
clever naming.
Keep away.
Yeah. He seems real sick, yeah? I'm hiding over here because I don't want to get I don't want to get sick too if I keep watching him.
He's
If you-
maintaining 6 feet.
Yeah, he's being
Smart.
proper social distancing. But he says, if you see one guy throw up, you sort of get sick too, you know?
If you're going to spew into this.
Yeah. So and then there's one more room behind the stairs, the power room, which is what is.
It shows a weird establishing shot when you go back there. It's weird.
It is.
It's,
Yeah.
I think it's like it doesn't want you like, oh, we don't know how he gets into this room. Let's just add in between shot because we don't want to like put another mat like just draw another. And it's weird. Like it shows the door, but you don't actually go through. It just shows you like
It just shows a picture of the door.
It's kind of like almost like a Resident Evil like loading screen door where you see like
except
built
not
in-
animated at all.
Yeah, it's just like a slideshow presentation where it's like, here's a door, and then you walk into the next, you just hit next slide, and then it's like the next room. You're like, okay.
It's very odd.
it's like Riven or Mist.
Yeah. Which I think those just came to Switch, didn't they?
Yes.
Oh,
Hell,
did they?
yeah.
You know, I've never played those.
Me neither.
Might be
Me
time.
neither.
Might be time.
It's time to start a podcast with Mark
All right.
about Mist.
Missed. And any game with like real like actors.
QuickTime like real motion like
we can
cutscenes.
do-
Some Command and Conquer.
I was gonna say we
action.
can do the Command and Conquer with Tim
Oh,
Curry.
yeah.
or that Zelda game for like the Pioneer system.
The sea.
Oh yeah.
The
The
CD
wand of Gamelot.
Yeah.
Squadala, we're off.
Yes, Squadala, we're off. Like me and my roommate say that. Like if we're gonna go to like the store or whatever to buy like sodas, we'll like get ready, put the mask on, and be like Squadala, we're off. And
I wonder what's for dinner.
oh, we do that all the time. Like
I can't wait to bomb the dongos.
I wonder what's for dinner.
My boy, these are pieces of
boy.
Cheerios
Link,
also.
my boy. Didn't I feel like that was the heart of YouTube poop for a while.
Yeah.
It was just
My
like
boy.
those shitty CDI
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sure Link in those games is more tolerable than Titus.
great. I'll get my stuff.
Well, I would say I feel like I think I said this to somebody via text or the Discord, but I think it's funny that you always want to be like a squall or a cloud,
Yeah.
and you really want to be Orin, but you like are Titus,
Yeah.
or so. So
I wish I was that athletic.
Every
fair.
MF thinks they're a cloud.
Every MF thinks they're a cloud. It turns out I'm a
until
wedge.
they meet one. Yeah, then they're a wedge.
You're a keeper hiding behind the
Hey, Carl, you're a keeper.
Aw.
Always a keeper, never a keeper. Keep. Wait, okay, wait. I was
Yeah,
supposed to say, always
yeah.
a keeper's main, never a keeper.
Well, Carl and I are both. I'm a bass player now, and Carl's a
Hell
bass
yeah.
player. Who's anyone know what?
We're all born bass players.
Hell
here.
yeah. Curtis plays bass in the Mountain Chiefs.
All right.
Bass 6.
Bass-esque.
Bass
Bass-
esque.
So we're all, just the NPCs of the band.
Support.
Vital, but
But okay, so we go in this power room.
Yeah, right. And it's like fucking. What are those?
The belly of the beast.
Yeah, what are those wheels that like mice run on? For exercise or whatever.
Exercise wheels.
Yeah,
Nice.
like there's
Yeah.
like chocobos on exercise wheels, like, and they're powering the ship that way.
It's so good.
It's clean energy.
It's free real estate.
Social ecology. Yeah, and Titus walks in and sees them and like has no idea what they are, and he says,
What
the
a fool! He hasn't played any of the previous Final Fantasy.
Yeah, what a poser. He says, "What the heck is that?" And
All right, it does a double like, what the heck is that? And then the engineer repeats back, well, but what the heck is what?
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, he like doesn't know what they are, and so she explains that they're chocobos. And when he's like confused, she's like,
What kind of backwater island did you come from, anyway?
Like, how do you not know what a chocobo is?
I also like too that she's like, "This is the power room." It says it on the door, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, I did walk up to the
You know,
door,
I
and
did-
see the door, and see that it's in power room.
Yeah. And yeah, so Titus finds that out. She heckles him a little bit, and then if you talk to her afterwards, she like sings the chocobo theme.
It's very cute.
Kind of out of tune.
La 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 la.
The last law has like a weird like glissando.
It's really good.
Oh wait, and there's some narration here.
There is.
Oh yeah.
It says
Miracles and oddities were starting to become daily routine on this trip.
It's really weird because like the screen fades out. It fades to black,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're gonna go into some cutscene or something.
this is like the smallest bird he's seen so far,
It's
except
weird.
for the one he woke up to, like in the
Yeah.
ruins. But
Yeah,
like,
he just saw fucking Valfer or whatever the
Yeah,
fuck its name
yeah,
is. Like, why
yeah.
is he shocked by the chocobo?
and those like Gerudos, fucking big flappy boys.
Yeah. But like the directing of this is very odd because like the screen fades out, it fades to black. We get Titus's narration voice saying that, and then it just pops right back up right where we were standing.
Yeah.
Maybe
There
they
was
were
no reason for that.
maybe they were planning on it like jumping to like the next thing, but like no,
Maybe.
let's have him like initiate.
It's like, wait, he didn't get the Albed Primer Volume 3 yet. We should,
Yeah.
we should make sure he gets that.
Which
condition
in this room,
Yeah, and
first edition.
L equals C.
Well, so does this mean that every time we see power in Spira, there are chocobos somewhere in the basement? Because, you know, before we're in the sort of, we're like very beginning of the game, we're in like Titus's Xanarkand, right?
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna say Xanarkand. Sorry, Xanarkand is different. And
I
maybe
think it runs on water because there's lots of water.
Well, here's the thing.
Is-
I think Machina.
well, that's what I was going to say. So
Yeah.
Titus is used to the Machina running
Right.
everything, but does that, if people, where he's at, like, does that mean they're just chocobos in the basement of every building? Because there have been lights and things.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
a good
chocobo
point.
power
And
is
motors?
the alternative.
the salvage
to
ship is
Machina.
also run on.
Oh, well, the salvage ship is probably Machina, right? Because it's the all bad.
Right. Yeah.
And
Oh.
Cut it out, Alex.
Yeah, I would say.
Just-
No, they said they were.
Just-
They said
yeah,
they
yeah,
were.
they're,
all
they're
bad.
all
Just,
bad.
I was gonna say,
Waka
if that,
can't know.
I was like, just bleep it out.
Because they're
Remember, so you're not an Albed hater, right? So yeah.
Can you just
Yeah.
translate
Oh,
me
right.
into all bad for that? Wait, does that mean just cut it? Do you've got the all the
Yeah, we
dialogue.
could. Yeah, we
throw
could-
throw a brother line in for me.
Tuli Hood Kabeg?
But yeah, that's a big question I have.
That's a good question, though. That's a good headcanon.
Because we're getting to a Yuna line that kind of establishes some more about
Yeah.
the universe.
I think
The universe.
multi-universe.
Nomura's universe.
Nomura's universe.
dude, if it was like the days of GeoCities again, like I feel like that would be our website. Would be the universe.
Oh hell yeah!
Dot
Like,
GeoCities. Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some of the websites that I found during the Final Fantasy VII season that just had like weird puns like that.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Eyes on Final Fantasy.
Yeah, right,
The,
right.
the Final Fantasy X one is just the universe.
Yeah. Yeah, but I would say my thought on it is that like chocobos would be like, okay, well we can't have Machina anymore because Sin will fucking kill us all
Yeah,
if we
yeah,
use
yeah.
Machina. So instead we'll use chocobos. So my idea would be that they didn't use them in Xanarkand.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like everything, that's all just
It's pre-Chocobo
No, that's
society.
canon. That's canon.
Like I said, we're just gonna say things and pretend like we know what we're talking about.
we've been
and
given Nomura's blessing to
If you have-
determine the lore.
if you have any problem with it, just tweet at Alex.
If you have any
If you
problem
have any
with
problem,
it,
yeah.
just play all of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then you can talk to me.
I was gonna say if you have any problem with it, tweet it Nomura. It's fine.
But really, if you have any problems, call our hotline.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
530 materia.
As
all
Nomura-
complaints go there.
As Nomura said in the recent press interview, the story of Final Fantasy, in our case 10, is just beginning. It's really
But yeah, anyway, so that's really all to do down here. We can go back up, and now Yuna's posse, I guess, like the people who were talking to her, will kind of like disperse.
Yeah.
the throng with the thong.
Ooh. We'll get to that thong. Oh, I have it right here. As a matter of fact, well, it's not really a thong, but
I don't know what it is. You can't see the back, so you don't know.
so let's talk about that. When we walk up, we hear the people around Yuna kind of talking amongst themselves and mentioning that, like, oh, I heard that she's Lord Braska's daughter. Oh, you don't say. And I think we've heard the name Braska once, referring to one of the high summoners when we were in the temple.
Yeah.
Before.
I like the reading of the second guy's line, which is,
We'll get her to Kilika, we will.
I also like to think of it as Lord Broski.
Lord Broski.
Yo, I heard she's related to Lord Broski.
Brewskis.
Lord Broski.
While drinking a Smirnoff
Yeah,
Ice.
that's to his friends, yeah. But the guy who says that's Lord Broska's daughter, we had a nice conversation before we started recording the podcast about this man's pants. They're like both the most high-rise pants and the lowest possible low-rise pants.
He's got
So, like, imagine, if you will, a V-neck, like, T-shirt. It's like that, but for the pants.
I will say, if I
he's
had,
he's got Aquaman pants. But they're like,
I love it. Like last week at some point, you would put in the Discord, you were just talking about pubes, and I didn't know why, and like I didn't like put it together. And then today, I was like looking at pictures of this guy, and I was like, the man without pubes.
It all makes sense now.
That man is shaving.
well, you
down
know,
there.
there's not a lot of armpit hair in this game either.
True.
That's true.
It's true.
Just in general.
Everybody's very modern, fashion forward.
So that's
I guess, or whatever.
Xanarkin versus.
Yeah. Titus is just like miracles on this trip. Things keep getting
Miracles
wild
and oddities have become-
miracles and oddities.
My favorite track from the Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack is The Man with No Pubic Hair.
I think Laguna is the type who would shave down there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You know,
Oh, yeah. I'd like to believe that.
Laguna's a good dude.
I want to
feel
be like
I
he
love
would-
Laguna.
Yeah, no, he's so good.
So
But before getting back on the ball, I do want to talk about this dumb little thing of dialogue that I really like, where it's just one of like Yuna's fan clubs. It says, "A summoner's confident smile is always a great encouragement to us."
Very odd.
Yeah,
Very reply guy.
Very
Like,
simp. Very simp.
yeah.
oh yeah. So the guy who is, we were talking about Lord Braska's daughter. She just might have a chance, right?
Yeah.
And then Titus chimes in like with actually like kind of being, I don't know, either gentlemanly or white knighty, which is like,
She does have a name, you know. Yuna.
and
Yeah.
it's like, Lady Yuna. Well, then we pray for Lady Yuna's safe passage. Like they were just like,
it's like we never thought of that. The name of this person.
We
I
know
don't know.
we know
It's-
Lord Braska's name, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Titus is being very protective, even though they weren't really saying anything like really disrespectful. They were
No.
just
I know.
They were just giving her title. Like,
I know.
and also presumably they know her probably a lot better than Titus does.
Possibly. Well, these could be people who
Well,
just work
I
on
think
the boat.
a lot of them seem to be from Kilika.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they're saying we gotta,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
we'll
Oh,
guess
get
that
you
makes
to,
sense.
yeah.
But yeah, he's like very like possessive already. Like
He's
creepily
clinging
so.
on to any
Get
bit
your
of
hands
knowledge
off
he
my
has.
keep your paws off my wife.
Yeah. Don't email my wife.
Well, I mean, I would be jealous of this very ripped V-neck pants.
But Titus turns back to Walker though, and he kind of asks, he's like, "So is Yuna's father famous or something?" And he explains that, "Oh yeah, it's High Summoner Braska. He actually defeated Sin 10 years ago," which I think is the first time we've heard about somebody defeating Sin, because like
Yeah.
2 episodes ago we were talking to the Crusaders, and they were like, "No one's been able to kill Sin in like
Well, I think they talked
1,000 years."
I
or
think they
whatever.
talked about that. They were like, it's the Crusaders' job to like defeat Sin, and then Titus is like, but no one defeated Sin yet.
Yeah, right. He's
So
all
I think
around.
it's like a thing where,
They
from
fought-
what
like,
we have now, like
fought off Sin, but
it's like,
actually,
yeah, we defeated him in this battle, and then he retreated or
Yeah,
whatever, and we
yeah,
saved
yeah.
wherever he was attacking, and
Yeah.
then like he just comes back every like
Fair.
10 years or whatever.
I think
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
right word is be-eated him.
But Titus is like, "Oh yeah, it is tough when your father's famous." Like he's talking about Jack.
Yeah.
Relatable.
And like Waka doesn't get it. He was like, "Huh?" And then like Lulu chimes in and is just like, "Oh yeah, Waka is a bit lacking in the imagination department."
Hell yeah.
So good. But yeah, so the little the group around Yuna kind of disperse. And like Titus starts walking up to her, and I hate walking and moving around as Titus, because I'm like, here I go, gonna creep on this poor girl again. Like,
Yeah.
that's what the game wants me to do, I guess. But she's like cool with it, I guess. She sees you coming and like kind of like steps to the side to give you like a place to stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, all right, she's cool. But
Also, like Waka did say like, oh, she has some questions for you If you talk to
really?
Waka, he says, if
Yeah.
you talk to Yuna, like she does have some questions for you.
Okay.
But before you go up to her, you can also talk like at the topmost, like I guess the lookout part of the ship.
Yeah. Mhm.
You can talk to just like a female NPC there, and she says, "Hey, can you believe this?" And if you say like what, she says, "I just saw this merchant guy inside the ship, and guess what he said to me? He walked up to me and said, 'You're no good,' just like that. Isn't that
What?
Isn't that awful? I still got style. I'll show him. Don't you think so?" And you can say yeah, or you can say well. I just said yeah, and she said, "That's right. I knew I was right. He doesn't know what he's talking about."
That's awesome.
It makes me so mad. I'm not going inside anymore.
That's awesome.
Oh, do you guys talk to the guys practicing at all?
I did, yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
They're really funny. So like, oh yeah, my favorite was like, should I practice kick passes too? And you can say yes or no, you're fine. So I said yeah. Like then it's Letty. So he says, okay, I'll pretend I'm kicking with my hands.
It's like they didn't have the animation budget to like make any kicks, so they're like, okay, well.
And then if you talk to him again, like I'm gonna sharpen my hand skills. Then we can go talk to Yuna.
Then we can go talk to Yuna.
Before we do,
So the listener knows, Alex yelled at me about break.
so we're gonna go and
I projected at you. I'm sorry.
we're gonna go and sharpen our hand skills, and once they're good and sharp, we'll be back with part 2, the exciting conclusion.
Of the SS Leaky. And we're back from our 1 hour break.
But we got some material for the next few seasons.
We did spend a good 20 minutes talking about 8, a good 20 minutes talking about 9.
Yeah.
A good,
guitars.
a good while talking about guitars.
Guitars, Simpsons, voice acting.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm standing up now. That's a thing that happens.
It's a whole new world.
Alex got a new mic stand.
A dazzling place for me and you.
Moving on up.
Moving on up. Okay.
So we're on the SS Leaky. Leaky.
That's like, is that how you pronounce lychee or like
Sure.
yeah, the leaky ship.
So Titus walks up to Yuna and again creeping, just
Creep him.
He does the classic creep move too, of like pretending to stretch.
oh
like
my,
you're
he does it
gonna
right
put-
behind her, and I was like,
you're gonna-
don't do it, don't do it.
Don't do it. He doesn't. He then just
Yeah.
like leans off the side of the ship, but like
Yeah.
it looked like he was going for like the movie theater strat of like putting your arm around a girl.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and they do have kind of like a 6th grade awkward silence.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
yeah.
don't they? And then they just kind of start like, oh, Yuna says something. She says, "The wind, it's nice," and then they just start laughing.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Oh yeah. So like Titus, while like during the awkward silence, Titus like kind of like faces the camera and does this weird like smirk. Like
That's gonna be my fucking my cover photo on Twitter.
it's like a fucking DreamWorks like villain. It's like hello this.
Farquaad from fucking Shrek.
Yeah, but they like. I will say though this about this scene right here, or whatever. I feel like it does contextualize for me Yuna and Titus, because I'm like, oh, they are young. They're
Yeah.
like kids. Is how I kind of translate this interaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as soon as I hear them just like start giggling about like, oh, the wind feels nice, and they giggle and like
Yeah,
look
there's
around.
like there's
I
an
was like,
uncomfortableness.
oh, they're like high schooler age.
Yeah.
Okay. Their actions make a little bit more sense.
It's like
Yeah.
maybe a little less creepy and more just like I don't really.
It's
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
an innocence to it where you're just like, okay, well, they're
right.
they're just awkward teens.
Yeah, and she like, and this is like another like I guess like a plus to Yuna if we're like taking Titus as us the player, like if we are Titus, she's like the first person to like talk to us about the whole Xanarkand Blitzball thing. She's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I heard that you were from Xanarkand, and Titus is like, oh, did you hear that from Waka? You know, because he's like, I feel like he's still not sure how much he wants to talk about it.
Yeah,
but-
because especially because like the first person that he talked to about it was just like, yeah, you should probably
you
don't
should
don't
do
don't,
that.
don't mention
And
it.
every time he mentions it, everybody's like, the fuck did you just say?
Yeah. But yeah, and then he says, Waka doesn't believe me at all.
Yeah, I know. But she says that she believes Titus, that he's from Xanarkand. And she's like,
I've heard in Xanarkand there is a great stadium, all lit up, even at night.
When all the chocobos are asleep and we could never possibly get power.
and like, again, it is kind of weird because we know that in this world, 1,000 years ago, Xanarkand was destroyed. And Titus is like, how did you know that? Because she's right about that, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, a man named Jecht told me. And it's like, whoa. I can't believe it. Whoa.
His delivery kind of makes it seem like he's like almost trying to remember that name, but he also seems like the name is kind of dirty in his mouth.
It is, yeah.
He's like, Jecht.
Yeah, and she says that Jecht was her father's guardian.
Yeah.
So the guardian to Lord Braska. And he does tell her, yeah, he like kind of not staggers, but he turns around and just kind of walks a couple steps away from each other and is just like,
My father. His name is Jecht.
almost like as though at first he's just like, fuck literally everybody named Jack. And I'm like, like these clearly aren't the same people because like I've traveled 1,000 years in the future or whatever.
If your name's Chad, I want nothing to do with you.
And she just says, amazing. Like she's kind of thinking like, oh, like I think this could be something. And she says, our meeting like this is the blessing of Yevon.
Yeah, right. And he's like, yeah, that kind of sounds like it could be him because of the whole Xanarkand thing.
Yeah.
But it can't be him. And she's like, well, why is that? And he's like, well, he's dead. And he died like 10 years ago off the coast of Xanarkand. So, and no one's seen him since. And she's like, oh, I put my foot in my mouth, whatever. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, or whatever. And he further describes like, oh yeah, he went out to sea one day and he just never came back. No one's ever seen him since. And then Yuna remembers, she's like, oh shit, wait a minute. 10 years ago on the ocean, like went out to the ocean, that's when Jecht came to Spira. And so, like Titus is like a little bit surprised. And she's like, it fits, doesn't it? The date lines up, doesn't it?
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense. And then there's a great fucking line too that comes right after this. And he's like, huh, yeah, but how would he get here? And she just like looks off into the ocean and just goes,
You're here? Are you not?
and like, oh, fucking good line, dude.
Really makes you think.
Yeah, dude, I will say that like, Yuna has the most like, good lines throughout the course of this game where I'm like, ooh, got him.
Yeah.
She's very wise.
Yeah. And she wasn't even doing it to like own Titus like a lot of people have been.
Yeah.
It was not like Lulu or like Riku or anything. It's more like,
Don't lose hope.
well, I mean, you're
I think
here. Like that
Whatever
makes
hope he
sense.
has about finding his father.
Yeah, I
finding
think she's
closure.
trying to like inspire him. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Yuna's very generous and patient.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind of
God,
like-
especially with this like crew of characters that we have.
So it's like the plot of Tron 2. where Jecht is played by Jeff.
yeah.
The
My
amount of
dad's in the machine.
the amount of emotional labor that Yuna does for all of
Oh my
Spira
God, I know.
off
Yeah.
the charts.
I know.
God.
Bless up to Yuna.
And then this boat starts a rocking.
Hell yeah.
Baby,
Those chocobos acting up again.
when this boat starts a rocking, don't come a knocking.
Don't come a docking.
Don't come a docking.
So yeah, like everything's kind of shaking, and we get more of that like kind of like weird particle effect to show that like shit's like
Oh yeah, the whole
going nuts.
weird, the
One-
kind of blurry effect. Like,
One of the crew members revisits the hilarious backward somersault across the deck that one of the Albed did on the salvager ship. I was like,
yeah.
there it is. There's the comedy one.
There he goes.
Woo, 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 boing.
And
oh, yeah,
like
we're flipping back and forth between an FFV and an in-game.
Yeah, I
graphics.
thought that was
Yeah.
really interesting.
like
Yeah.
mostly like for the ocean graphics, we're seeing things happening in the water,
yeah.
which
We
The
also
water
see
looks
that
great in the CG. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I
it
was saying, they're really
seriously
like
does.
flexing their muscles because
The water and Titus's hair.
very dewy. If they can get things wet, they
Yeah.
can get dewy.
Yeah, but like Yuna falls over and Titus is kind of still standing up and holding on and grabs her by the
Hand,
by
yeah.
the hand.
And then Sid reaches for a big switch, and then the whole wings just off.
But yeah. So like she's getting ready to like fall over and fall toward the edge because like the ship is like hard tilting to the starboard.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it's full tilt in
Wait a second.
in the rightmost direction.
I'm looking at it. I don't think the actual. Is it actually tilting, or is it just the camera tilting? I think they're.
Well,
I think they
I'm not-
want you to believe it's tilting.
Well, I know, but I'm looking at like yeah, they're fucking. I think they're. I have the thing like back and forth, and I think they're fully pulling a Star Trek the original series.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
pretending to fall over.
It's not. It's not. They didn't have the Pirates of the Caribbean budget to create an entire like ocean within the studio
they
that they could
couldn't
actually tilt
mocap
shit.
the boat.
But like when the boat's tilting, it looks like the horizon also tilts. I'm just
Yes, yeah.
okay.
That mocap a boat thing had the same like cadence as they did surgery on a grape.
They did mocap on a boat.
But like then we see Titus kind of struggling with holding on to Yuna again. again, like this is a moment kind of similar to in the cloisters where Yuna was like falling a little bit and he like went to go and try and save her and then like couldn't.
Yeah, and Titus once again like
he like lets go and she starts falling and then Kimari jumps in and grabs Yuna and saves her.
Kimari 2 out of 2, baby.
Hell yeah, get fucked, Titus.
And then a great big fucking
dorsal fin.
A big old dorsal comes out of the water, and like when we say big, it's like multiple times the height of this boat.
Yeah,
right?
When I first saw it, I thought it was like a humpback whale breaching or something like that. Like it just looks like the front. It looks like the fin's like the size of a whale. Whale's head.
Yeah, it's enormous. And it fucking erupts out of the water. Everybody on the boat like sees it, and you fucking get this action shot, which this is my favorite scene in all of Final Fantasy X. I know we're like still
it's all downhill from here.
We're still toward the beginning of the game, but this is my favorite fucking like 2-second clip.
Oh yeah. I know exactly.
Where like the camera starts out, you see like all of your party members. And behind them is the man with the fucking like V neck pants. And like the camera does this goofy fucking zoom in on his face. And at first he's just looking forward. Like it
zooms in, but then it drops down while still pointing his face.
It's like he hasn't noticed what's going on until the camera drops down. He's just like looking forward. And again, as soon as go ahead.
Again, because it's like a side character, like an NPC, it's not fully textured too well. So in the high definition, it looks even goofier.
Yeah,
like a sim.
And then the camera rotates down to show him from underneath, and then it's like he notices what just happened, and he like jerks and looks up and goes, "Sin!"
He's got the little Sims icon.
Oh yeah,
the
little
little plumb bob.
This is like exactly what plays in my head anytime
Sims!
I see.
Sims!
Anytime I see somebody like post pictures of their feet on Twitter, I'm like, "Sin!"
Here we go, sinning again.
That was my good joke, so I'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, I know that friend of the show, Ninnies, who is a Final Fantasy speedrunner who is always streaming on Twitch. This is like one of his. I think he called this his favorite character the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
Shout outs to Nins.
Shout outs to Nins, absolutely.
He also gave me a good strategy for this boss fight coming up.
Ooh.
So we'll talk about that in a minute. Oh yeah, spoiler. This is a boss fight.
So one of the crew members walks over to. There's 2 harpoons on the front of the boat.
They're like they're kind of arranged almost like giant crossbows.
Yeah. What is that called?
Or a crossbow.
No.
A ballista.
A ballista. I was gonna say, what do you kill the pursuer with in Dark Souls 2? A ballista. Anyway.
What do you kill the dragon god with in Demon Souls?
Yeah. So one of the crew members runs up to it, and Walk is like,
"What do you think you're doing? Stick a harpoon in him and we'll all get dragged under."
Yeah.
And the guy looks back and he's just like, "We have family in Kilika." So he's like, it doesn't matter. Like, even if we all die, like, we have to keep it from getting there. And like,
forgive us, Lady Summoner.
Yeah, knowing that Yuna's there.
Since she's kind of like, everyone's kind of reporting to her, I think, because this is her
pilgrimage, right?
Her quest.
Yeah, he looks back at her and she just nods and she's like, "Yeah, it's cool. Go ahead and do it."
Yeah, which is kind of a crazy thing to think about because like totally understand where this crew is coming from and like why they're going to these measures and stuff, but it's also kind of like this summoner is like the only chance that anyone has. So this is a very like this is like a very morally like weird like thing to kind of consider because like you can't blame these guys for like wanting to do this and doing everything they can, but it's also like, oh yes, we know that this is probably not great for you, Lady Summoner, but this is what we have to do.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like Yuna takes in stride though. She's like, yeah, do what you got to do.
Yeah. She literally just like go at it. Yeah. And then we get an underwater picture of Sin real quick.
And I like that Waka is like, wait.
Oh, boy.
Oh, he does. He goes, oh, boy. And it has like that cadence to it, too. It's really good. But I like the one real quick underwater scene we see of Sin. It seems to have like 100 eyeballs or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's like we're still so zoomed into it and it's so large that we can't grasp what it looks like. Mm-hmm. But like, man, every time we get to see any of this creature, we're like,
fucking wild.
What the fuck is this thing? Like, this thing is nasty. All we know is it's got a nice liquidy undulating butthole and like 100 eyes. And
it loves to suck.
All the animals are so weird in this game.
But yeah, we get a little bit more of like a CG cutscene of just like Sin kind of like thrashing around and the boat kind of flashing around. And like,
it rocks the boat, baby.
And
a lot of good mocap of people kind of bracing themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of it, like Titus, like grabbing onto a crate and reaching back, trying to like. I'm not sure what he was reaching for, but it was very, very animated.
Yeah. He's doing a good like arm, like avenge me.
And then we kind of see some more of like those sin scales on the fin kind of start like feathering out and then flying onto the ship.
Yeah, and we get into a boss battle, baby.
Yeah, we see Kamari, Yuna, and Titus all squaring up.
Do they have a different variant this time? I feel like their design.
I think it does look a little different.
Their coloration might be slightly different this time.
They're purple now. Is that the
purple?
Burple.
Let me look it up. I wonder if there's like sin scale types.
Well, while you're looking it up, when you were saying how Waka's like, oh boy, or whatever, I was like,
boy.
I was thinking of how easy it would be to just get like clips of Bender from Futurama saying stuff and just like put it in here as if Waka was saying it. Like on the one episode where I think they're like under like the sewers or something and they're trying to get away, and Bender's like, the only chance that they have to like keep going, he's just like, I'm getting on the bus. Better hurry up, I'm getting on the bus.
Okay, yeah. So on in the opening scene, we fought green ones, and these ones are purple now.
Nice.
So
they have like
Good eye, Mark.
I did it.
Oh yeah.
Good eye, Mark.
The first ones we fought were kind of more like their wings were kind of like more of a solid green fin. These are like they're actually more scaly and have like purple spikes going off.
Oh, you want scales?
They're sharp.
Baby, we got scales.
Scales on scales.
Ooh.
They're defending themselves somehow.
Yeah, so it sends 3 sin scales onto the ship. And like you said, Kamari and Yuna, Titus run out as our initial 3 party members. But like we've learned, we can switch out party members. So this will be our first. This is like our first boss with agency. I feel like all the other ones were kind of either like tutorials,
a little more scripted,
or scripted, exactly. And this one is like, okay, here you go. Here's a boss. Like,
and this is, I think, the first time we get to fight with Kamari, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because
he just pieced out after we kind of scuffled.
Like
with
we
him.
fought,
Oh, that's right.
We fought against him, but we didn't like ever.
And then he
get to
shows up
use
on
him.
the boat. We just see him when we get to the beach. That was it.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right.
And he has an ability called Lancet.
Yeah.
And it basically just can sap HP
For
and
now.
MP, out of enemies.
Yeah.
So right now we can't get any MP, or maybe it's because I had full MP. So every time I did it, I just got like 70 HP.
The effect of Lancet will change going on.
Sick.
But yeah, for now it's basically just like a a draining attack, and it's long range.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
because in this case, along with the 3 sin scales, there's also the giant fin of sin out there.
Yeah.
And what's cool is that like the crew members did shoot the harpoon. They hooked sin, and sin is dragging the boat along at this point, right?
Yeah.
And so like during the course of the battle, every like few turns, like the sin scale will get a turn and then pull the boat to the left or pull the boat to the right or pull it straight ahead. And so like the boat like rocks around with the direction that sin's going in during this battle. It's really cool and really dynamic.
Yeah.
I also like that Kamari has scan.
Yes.
Right? So you start to get information, and I think it like you said, it's kind of your first fight with agency. So it's like you can use scan to actually get hints about, like, if you can't hit sin, it says like use magic or.
I really love
you
that
don't have
too.
to use a turn for it too.
Yeah.
Like
it's just there. It's just there for you. Yeah.
Yep. And you see their HP and everything.
Yeah, and so I love the little hint that it gives you for boss sin. When you aim at the fin, it just says attack with magic and Waka's ball.
And in this case, you could also use Kamari's Lancet if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But right now, as far as like damage output goes, Titus can do more damage, and Kamari can do a lot of damage as well. And they're both fast, so it's good to have them out for the sin scales.
Yeah.
But because like as you take out the sin scales, much like every time we fought them, they just get replenished. So you take out all 3 more come back.
Yeah.
So this battle is kind of a battle of management. Like you're managing like how many sin scales are on the boat, how many of them are getting ready to do their double damage, like good critical attack, essentially, right? And so you want to eliminate those ones as quick as you can. But you also want to have characters out who can keep the pressure on the actual boss, which is the giant dorsal fin of sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool the way this kind of plays out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not the first time, but like cheer. What a good move. What a good move. And of course,
highly recommend.
If somebody's hurt, you switch out Yuna, to use cure or whatever. The thing that sucks though is when like somebody gets like gravely injured and then their turn comes up next, and you're like, well, I can't switch them out for Yuna because then you don't have them to cure. They won't be on the fucking fight anymore.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fucking eternal struggle for the rest of this game.
And does Sin's fin itself ever do anything except?
I think it just moves around.
I think it just moves, yeah.
Because I was trying this time through to just kill as many Sin scales as I could, and I was wondering if like it would give more of anything.
That is actually a pro strat, I'm pretty sure. I think this is the part that Ninnies was telling me about, where you can kind of just farm these scales for a really long time, and you'll get more. I think you get more sphere levels and more like spheres at the end of the battle for however many.
I noticed I got a lot of spheres.
Yeah, because I kind of just did that. I didn't test it by just doing it like a straight like battle, but pretty much what I did was, as soon as I could, I would switch out a character. I would like attack with Lulu, attack with Yuna, and then put them back. And then I just had Titus, Waka, and Kimahri. I used Titus just cheer to the max level.
Yeah.
And then with every turn, I could just take out each of the Sin Scales with one hit on with Waka, Kimahri, and Titus.
Yeah, right.
So it was just like, okay, I'm just going to sit here and like cycle through this a bunch of times. And then like...
cheer is so good.
Yeah, I got to a point where then I was like, well, let's see how much damage like Waka's like just plain attack does to Sin. And he was doing like close to 300 damage. And
this
Sin,
boss only has like 2,000.
It's only got
HP.
2,000, yeah. So it was like pretty, like with cheer, like it was pretty much a non-thing. It was just like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and grind for a while and get a couple levels up.
Yeah, it fucking rules. But, so boss isn't too hard. After we defeat the boss, it's tail, I guess? Like the harpoon detaches. Like it rips the fucking ballista off of the ship. And then we like see it swim ahead of us, and its tail comes up out of the water and then like smacks the water.
It's incredibly scary.
It's also fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
It looks like a screw.
It looks like a big screw or like a corkscrew. It's fucking gnarly. And when I say big, I mean like...
several times larger than the boat.
Yeah.
City blocks.
Yeah.
Like long. Yeah, it's fucking enormous. But as soon as like they make that big splash, you kind of see like Kimahri's holding Yuna, Waka's looking around, and Titus is nowhere to be found, right?
Yeah.
And like Waka's like, oh god damn it. Like he doesn't say anything, but you're like he's the one who realizes it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he just runs and jumps overboard, like thinking that Titus has fallen over, which he is correct about. So like Titus is just like floating in the water. But like floating, how do I say this? He's like
unconscious in the water and like sinking a little
sinking,
bit.
yeah. He's
What's
like
the opposite of float? He has found the sink material.
He's like less buoyant than necessary to stay to the top, right?
Vibing.
And there's like Sin scales are like, I guess still coming off of Sin.
Yeah.
And they're like fucking cutting him up.
They're just absolutely owning him.
Yeah, right.
It's like several are hitting him, and he's completely limp too, so he's not even bracing himself. He's just getting fucking hit.
Yeah, right. And then we see like a bunch of them line up to attack Titus, and a fucking blitzball comes in out of nowhere. Oh, it saves the day. And it's Waka, and he's like swimming toward him, you know? Which I will say though, like, I love fucking Waka swimming with his blitzball. I'm just like,
it's a good look.
He's a cool character. I like Waka. And he uses a potion like on Titus. There's like a in-universe use of the potion.
Yeah.
And we like see the animation and everything, and like Titus snaps out of it, and Waka just gives him a thumbs up.
Oh my god! And the thumbs up animation is so shitty. It's like so weird.
It's like they're trying to look like they're underwater, so they have like a little extra flow to it. So
but it's just like the
ooh.
thumb looks like weirdly disconnected.
Yeah.
And then Titus like wakes up and he gives him a thumbs up back.
And then y'all remember when we put a pin in earlier?
Dolphins
come back.
Dolphins.
And they swim by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, look at those them fins.
Ooh.
They got like little
hook on them.
Yeah, they're like little I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Bat wings.
Yeah, you're right.
And I think they have more than just like the two that dolphins have. They have like two on each side.
You might be right.
But you may be wrong.
It's hard to tell because
Or
of the
it
blur.
could be the blur.
Yeah.
Well, I think we talked about
the
this
Sins
with the Click anime as well. It's the Sins toxins.
But then we get into the second phase of this boss fight, right?
Yeah.
It's a Tentacruel from Pokemon.
It's the big one from the intro during the Pokemon
It's
song.
the episode-
The one that attacks the building.
It's the one where Misty
They
gets
predicted
the
Gigantamax.
tentacle.
Yeah.
And she fights the tentacle on the roof.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's that one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
It was a good show.
It was a good show. Do you remember before? What were they doing? I think they were like a countdown to the new Pokemon game or something like 2 games ago or whatever. And on Twitch they were just like,
oh yeah,
in 3 days here's the entire first like arc of Pokemon all the way up to the fucking Elite Four or whatever. And I was just like, I have this weekend off. I think I'll just sit here and
amazing.
watch all of the first season of Pokemon. It was all right. It was a good time.
The episode with Sabrina, everyone in chat is just saying Monka S.
But yeah, it is like a big like tentacruel jellyfish. But like
It's called Sinspawn Achilles?
I was waiting for someone to try it.
Because it's Echuilles. I think it's probably spelled Achilles, but like kind of a stylized
Yeah, it's like
spelling
a
of it.
stylized kind of Achilles.
I'm sure the wiki fandom would have it, but we've never used that on this podcast, and we're not about to start.
Echules.
Sinspawn.
Echuiles.
Sinspawn
Echuiles.
Echidna.
You want to fight with my emeralds? It's Echidna because Knuckles.
Knuckles,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Sonic Adventure 2. Anyway,
I'm just thinking the
Knuckles.
the Pumpkin Zone song, which is incredibly good. That little like piano line is so fucking good.
Ain't gonna let it get to me and just gonna creep down on Pumpkin Hill. I gotta find my lost piece. So I can
It's
feel
a
it in my
good
feet.
fucking song. It's a real good fucking song.
By his lost piece, he means a gun.
Shadow the Hedgehog does get a gun. That's right.
true.
Just gonna creep.
Give Yuna the gun now. This will all be solved.
But
That's
yeah,
Machina, baby.
I feel like this is a much cooler fight. I think like this one has more interesting mechanics to it. I think. So the Sinspawn, the boss, can do like a relatively damaging physical attack. Like it does quite a bit of damage. You can maybe take 2 of them, 3 of them before you are killed by it.
Oh yeah, it was like a whirlpool.
Well, not that one, the normal one, just where it
Sorry.
like slaps you.
Oh yeah, there's a little flap.
Yeah, but every like 3 turns, it does the whirlpool called Blender.
Oh yeah, it's called Blender.
And like
The lovable robot.
it just like aims its tentacles at you and starts spinning and creates like a whirlpool. And you could only like tank 1 of those. Like it's rough.
Yeah, I had I lost Titus during my play.
I'm so sorry.
Lost him at sea.
He's just like, I got him back. And he's gone.
But this battle is huge for cheer because I used all 5 cheers and I was like, neither of these attacks do anything now. Like they're both just like nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm doing so much damage. It's so good.
Oh, so does that carry over from the last phase?
No, I actually used
okay.
it in this one. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I used Dark Attack a lot to blind.
So that's the big thing is that this boss is vulnerable to dark attack. So its normal physical attack, even though it is pretty damaging, it's susceptible to dark. And dark is super effective in this game. So it will miss every time, just about. Like I think there is a chance for a connect on it, but it's like 1 out of 16. It never hits. And it's also accompanied by 4 sin scales, like the same ones that were like attacking Titus, like closed up. They haven't like turned into their insecty form. And every turn, they'll just swim at you and do like 50 damage.
Yeah.
And then they just disappear from the battlefield. And after all 4 of them are gone, he just summons 4 more. And there's like no real reason to attack those ones.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
ignored
I
them the
don't
whole
even
time.
think I did. I might not have even noticed that you could attack them. I think
Yeah.
I just went like full steam to the boss. And
Right.
when I started this battle, I had a pretty full overdrive with Titus.
Yeah.
So then I got that. I did Spiral Cut, and I completely forgot that there was like the
bar.
golfing mini game thing.
Yeah.
And I completely fucked it up. So I did not do the max damage, but I was like, eh.
Yeah, you can still get more damage than your normal
This ain't
attack. but
7
yeah.
anymore.
Yeah. I was like, shit.
That overdrive in particular, when you start messing it up, it just gets worse.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, here I go. I'm gonna wait a little. No.
Yeah. And the one like you'll get so close down to like the time that you're like, okay, I'm actually gonna hit this one on the way back, and you go all the way across, and then you run out of time, and
You're like,
like
God damn it. Yeah.
Does it the effectiveness of your overdrive affect how quickly you get it?
I don't think so.
Because I feel like I got it accidentally, just like on the first like pass, and it was like it gave me like a great or awesome or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it does like it.
It just warps.
Great.
Yeah, if you do that,
Okay.
it just warps you to the end credits.
I don't know. It made me feel good. It felt
Hell yeah.
better at least.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
You
the
hit
only way I
different.
can get it.
Yeah,
If I
that's how you
miss-
get the extra serotonin stat.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is that like I feel like that's the easiest way to get it is to try on your first the first sweep across, because if you fuck up, it just immediately restarts. So
Oh,
really,
yeah.
you just start like kind of pressing A in a rhythm to try to get
To get-
to
yeah.
figure out whether you need to wait a little longer or go. a
Match
little
my
sooner.
tempo.
To be honest, I did not know it came back because I always just start matching A if I miss it, and I'm like, oh, it resets.
Spiral cut. It's all in the mind. But anyway, and that's that boss, baby.
Yeah.
That's it.
Never saw it again.
Never seen it again. Sad.
And,
I got an overkill on it with Waka.
I was gonna ask if anybody got overkill.
Felt pretty good.
That's cool.
I got got a handful of spheres. Was able to kind of level up everyone later. A red bangle and a Rodney of water.
Oh, I got an ice Moomba and a blue arm guard.
Really?
An ice Moomba?
I got a yellow ring and a rod of water.
I got a yellow ring and a blue arm guard.
Ooh.
Damn,
And then
look at us.
How many power spheres did you get?
I had 55 power spheres.
Oh my god.
Five power spheres, 3 mana spheres, 2 abilities.
I had the same mana and ability, 10 power spheres.
I had 12 power spheres, 10 mana, and 2 ability.
I used the pro ninnies strat.
Yeah.
And I got 55 power spheres, 5 mana spheres, and 4 ability spheres.
Yep. And
And,
we've
a shit ton of AP. So I think I went up like 5.
oh geez.
Yeah, I went up like 5 sphere levels.
Everybody got 1 sphere level.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, everybody got 1. Nice.
So that's interesting that there's some RNG and like drops in this. Usually like bosses have like this is the item they drop.
Yeah, right.
But we got
It's like, damn, if only Riku was here, I could have stole some shit.
Yeah.
Stole some grenades.
Yeah, I'm curious what the like factors are that
Oh, what if you did the expert sphere grid and had steel? Or I wonder if you could even get it from this point because it's so far away from the center.
I feel like there's no real way to get that many levels, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Who's to say?
We gotta try it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Achilles is down.
Yeah,
which
we
means, I
defeated
guess,
Sin.
And everything is
Kilika
saved.
is saved.
Everything is saved. And
Everything's
we did
okay.
it.
Everything turned out fine.
And we'll see you next week. This has been
Where everything remains fine. No, so we do get a cutscene here.
And it's a doozy.
Yeah, should we talk about this?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so there is a just you can see off in the distance a nice little like town with like like
It's
a
nice.
It's like
tropical
Disney Resort.
Yeah.
It's like made entirely of like piers.
Yeah,
like going out
and like
into the water.
huts. I feel
What's
like.
the Medeal or something like that?
This does have some Medeal energy, but I don't know.
I was
if
gonna
it's
say, yeah, it is post Medeal. Yeah. But yeah, it is like it's not built on the land. It's actually built over the water, even though it connects to the land.
But I'm talking about how everything's kind of elevated and stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's all like wood huts and like all the connecting. I wouldn't even call them streets. They're like piers, right? Like that's what they are.
It's like the boardwalk. It's like
Yeah.
Wildwood. Gonna go and get some curly.
It's like
fries.
Sea Isle City, where there is the corner of 69th and Nice Street is actually in Sea Isle City.
Oh, holy shit! Really?
But there's no stop sign or anything there to actually have the signs. So you could not go take a picture of a sign that says
Fucking
69th and
cowards.
Nice. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
But yeah, then we just got a really depressing scene here.
Yeah. So,
With
what are you talking about? It's super nice because there's some kids kicking around a little ball.
Yeah,
They're
They're playing blitzball wrong.
Yeah, they're playing American blitzball. You only use your feet.
Yeah, they're like kicking around a ball that shows like a lady. She's like holding her baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and peaceful. I don't know what you're talking about,
Yeah,
buddy.
and then you just kind of see the giant like sin wave that we're like used to seeing, like the same one that like wrecked Xanarkand, and it's just like completely decimates like everything, and we get a lot of different shots.
Yeah, we see like shots of these people who are like standing around these kids and this woman or whatever, like look up at it, and it's just like it is taller than the fin of Sin. Like this is a wave.
Yeah, this is like a tsunami.
Yeah,
really, really fucking sad.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's like running away, like on a pier, like almost like a dock, I guess, because it's not really near any of the houses. And he like sees it and turns around and starts running away as it's hitting. And like you just see all of the boards behind him like getting destroyed. And he's like running away, and you're like, okay, he might make it. And then it just all collapses underneath him. And he's
A lot of the destruction seems to be almost from a pulling energy than a pushing energy.
So that's the thing. So
exactly.
after like the initial hit of this tsunami that like wipes out almost everything that's already there, then like Sin like coalesces like a doom ghost tornado around it, and like everything that's still living in Kilika starts getting sucked up into it, including like the houses and the people. Like one guy tries to hold on to like a tree or something, and then it is like ripped away from it. It's real fucked up.
Yeah.
There were a lot more people alive in Kilika like a number of seconds ago.
Yeah, mere seconds ago. And then we see like an above, like a bird's eye view shot that kind of gives us more of like the layout of Kilika, and so much of it is just destroyed, and we just see like Sin just like there.
And you get like a really good view, at least of the top of it.
Yeah, I feel like this is the
One
most of Sin that we've seen so far.
Yeah. Oh, also, I will say, when it submerges right before it sets this tidal wave up, for just a split second, you can see like towers and like castles and shit on Sin's back.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it like starts to dive, and you can see that there's like a fucking medieval dark soul. It looks like the undead bird is just like on top of Sin. Like that's where Lord Dran is.
Well, and with the shot of Sin from above and the destroyed town, you can also see some buildings. On top of Sin there.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I didn't notice that. All things. Oh yeah, you're right.
Now we're all just like looking real close at Sin.
That's exactly We're all looking at our switches.
We're like, what can we
Don't
suss
stare
out from
directly
this?
at Sin.
Yeah, I don't think there's really too much more that we can see other than that. But we do see like a blitz ball kind of just.
Oh man, the end of this scene,
just floating, and then it like changes kind of perspective a little bit, and we just see it floating away. And I'm guessing, is this sunset?
It's become dusk.
Yeah, so we see it like floating in like
it
orange
rides off
water.
into the sunset.
Yeah. And so like the last scene we get of this fucking cutscene of Kilika being destroyed is just like a blizz ball floating out amongst all this like debris. And it's a real sad note to end on today.
So that's where we're gonna end it, baby. It's 2020.
You shouldn't have known. You shouldn't have named your
sadness.
fucking boat the Leaky. Sorry, what, Alex?
Oh yeah, we have there's a safe spot like just 2 minutes ahead from now. But
yeah, that's true. That's true. Once you're done with this scene, do we want to talk about the little next scene?
Yeah, and then we're back in engine, and Titus is waking up. I guess because I don't know what happened. Like, did he just pass out again between beating a boss?
Tuckered.
He was like, boy, he held his breath for too long and just passed out. But he woke up. He wakes up and he looks up, and he's basically in Yuna's arms, who's kind of like supporting him on the deck of the ship.
And we actually hear some narration.
Right.
And he says,
when Sin attacked Xanarkand that day, I woke up in Spira. I kept hoping it would work in reverse, too.
Which, no, it doesn't.
He's like, yeah, fuck this shit. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Oh, and then, Yuna is...
I'm going to ditch.
Yuna makes her, like, declaration.
I will defeat Sin. I must defeat Sin.
Yeah. Right.
Narration continues.
I was just fooling myself. Maybe it was that day, on the sea, under the burning sun. I started to give up hope. I was in a foreign world. I wasn't going home. This was my new reality, and I was stuck in it for good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. And so...
What a good reality to be stuck in.
Yeah. It could be that one, or it could be this great reality that we're currently in right now.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as that's done, we're able to get off the boat. We've landed in what's left of Kilika and are able to save the game.
Yeah. It shows us that little map again, and then we can go and save.
Someone on the ship is just hammering away, so you can't get back on.
Yeah, I tried to go back on.
yeah.
I want to see this chocobo.
Want to go back and farm some more of those Sin skins.
But yeah, that's where we're going to leave it for today.
Yeah, so next one we're going to talk about Kilika.
Yeah, so I think what we'll do next time is we'll talk about the scenes in Kilika, and then we'll talk about the area going up to the temple.
Yeah.
And then we'll stop before the temple, I think.
Okay.
Or as we run into the temple. Maybe like we'll do like what we did the first time where we just stop as we walk into the cloister.
Yeah.
Spoilers, there's a cloister.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
All right. We did it.
Yeah.
What a
Mark,
good
thank
note.
you for being on our show.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Is there anything you want to plug or anything
plug some
coming up?
stuff.
You're a man of a million things. So.
I remembered one story about my Final Fantasy past that I have to relate. I went to a wedding when I was in college, and it was for a babysitter of mine. Growing up, my parents worked at Haverford College, and so some of the students would come hang out and play video games with me. And my one babysitter got married, and their first dance was to Xanarkand.
Really?
It's really sweet.
Which is very hard to dance to.
It's a waltz. No one really realizes, but it fluctuates in tempo a lot.
Yeah, but yeah, everybody just stay safe out there and make your bedroom records. You know.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, and then send them over to Mark. To,
I'll make some.
Mix.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, is there anywhere that you'd like to like say for people to go find you?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm on Instagram at mhwater, WATTER, so like the drink but with 2 T's, and if if you're looking for a place to record when Sin blows over and we're all good, you can look up Headroom Studios, and we have lots of loud amps.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of cool guitars too.
And yeah.
Yeah, my band's last EP was tracked there. Apparently, I just remembered.
Nice.
Hell
I
yeah.
just remembered.
Hell yeah.
Anything else for anyone?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I got nothing. We're still inside of time compression, so like
Yeah, and
things
also
are not happening.
we're also in the middle of a huge heat wave that like caused a couple of power outages here
Yeah.
where we're recording.
I'm running an extension cord to like another area of the building. So,
Yeah, right, yeah.
Because this area kept tripping the breaker.
Alex
We're
is using-
podcasting too hard.
He's using the podcasting Chad strats.
even if I did have like more things to plug, it's like so hot.
Exactly.
That, like, my brain is just not working. All the water content of my body has just been sweated out. I have nothing that I could do.
Like I'm trying to make weight in MMA.
Yeah, weigh-ins right after this, and then we can finally relax.
It's like a sauna in here. But yeah, we have a hotline. Give us a call. Send us a text. Late night text is fine.
That's 530 materia.
Hell yeah.
That number again is 530 materia.
Call now. Thanks again to Night of the Round for the theme song this season.
Hell yeah.
It's super cool.
It whippeth.
I love it. It makes feel so good.
Start that album up and just go sin.
It's so good. Feature music this season: Nobuo Uematsu, with the help of Masashi Hamauzu and Junya Nakano.
Nobuo and gang.
Nobuo and
Nobuo
Friends.
and company.
Nabuo and friends.
Favorite Saturday morning cartoon. Leave us a review on iTunes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big help.
It does help. Nobody's doing it, but we occasionally chart in New Zealand, so that's cool.
Oh, you know what? We never.
I guess that people like listening to podcasts when they don't have Roni.
Yeah. So you know what we didn't announce? I was keeping track of it, and then when it happened, I just wasn't paying attention. But we have surpassed 10,000 downloads now, so
Hell
that's
yeah.
exciting for us.
And 50 episodes.
And 50 episodes. How about that?
We did it.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
So we're at 200.
When we hit our
downloads an
77th episode, we should do something.
Hell
Ooh,
yeah.
it'll be lucky sevens.
That'll be the season, probably.
That's where we just
Yeah,
go. We
probably.
just go fucking insane, and we hit each other 64 times.
That'll be this season, and we'll be like 2 hours further in the game by that point.
Remember when I had Lucky Sevens on during the battle arena, and I had Min on? So I was
Yeah, you were
just-
doing one damage
Oh
like
my
64
god,
times.
that was one of the best.
because I had
ones.
like a double cut like stack, so it just like hit 16 times every time I moved.
Yeah.
I love
Every time someone hit me, I countered with like 16 hits, but they were all doing one damage. Boink, boink, boink.
Carl, what do I do?
that was so good.
I'm stuck. We are every FNFF on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. We have a TeePublic. I'm hoping to find more stuff to put up there, but we have our Final Fantasy masks. We have some other stupid shit. We've had we've been seeing people getting there every
Every
damn game. That's
game.
It's a Nike.
Yeah,
thing.
thanks everybody's bought.
I love
every
how
damn
that's
game
our
shirt.
most popular shirt, and none of us can remember what it says.
It's because I spent all of 10 minutes thinking about it. Putting it up. I was like, that'll be fun. I can do that with text. Yeah, hopefully we'll have more stuff out there soon, since I've been meaning to commission some good art.
Yeah.
Because
We should just.
The universe.
I don't know if we can make like the positioning correct on the shirt, but we should just have a shirt that at the bottom has like the V-neck, like just at the bottom of the shirt.
Oh, it's just got to be an apron.
Yeah, we're gonna make aprons.
that look like that guy's chest. Oh my god.
Yeah, the neck of the shirt, like the neck of the shirt is like where his waist is, and so like the print from the collar of the shirt to like the navel is just like his skin going down to his waist.
Sounds like a good idea.
That would sell.
Available now.
Is there anything else?
Do not listen to Carl; it is not available now. Unless you're
do
listening
not,
to this in the future.
do not listen to me ever.
Unless you're listening to this next week.
Yeah, and then only for Alex and Mark and Curtis.
I feel like I had something else to mention. I don't remember.
I feel like that too. We have a
Well,
Discord.
you're the engineer. You can add that in whenever you'd
Add
like.
it in post, baby.
Yeah, and all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
I'm excited to get to Kilika and experience all its fine dining and offerings.
Let's
Bye.
go.
Thanks again, Mark.
Yeah, thanks.